I don't want those sort of heteronormative entrapments. I suppose, I'm in my 40s. I haven't wanted to be a mother or clean the house or have children, which I guess are sort of, so I've sort of resisted those pigeonholed sort of areas women fall into. And I think gay men sometimes get a lot of freedom in their lives, which I've lent into. And also I think women just have this terrible sense of sort of slut shaming about, their lives and their behaviour. And maybe because my closest friends are all gay men, I feel they give me a lot of freedom to live as I like. So they all tease me I'm the honorary gay man amongst them.
The actress Olivia Colman says she's always felt sort of non-binary. She was speaking after appearing in a film where she plays the mother of a child who is non-binary. Coleman explained what she meant by saying, "I've never felt massively feminine in my being female. I've always described myself to my husband as a gay man." Non-binary activists say it describes a gender identity that does not conform to traditional binary beliefs, which indicate that all individuals are exclusively either male or female. Two Times writers Katie Glass and Helen Rumbelow have written about what it might mean to them, and Katie joins us now. Good morning, Katie.
Morning.
So what did Olivia Colman's comments, what did they mean to you?
Well, so like you say, she's made a couple of comments. One's about she thinks of herself as non-binary. She's always thought of herself as a gay man. She's not in touch with her femininity. And I just felt very, very torn in my feelings about it. Because on the one hand, I think, yes, actually, I've always felt that way. I'm not into typically sort of feminine things. You probably the readers probably see me all sort of glammed up for a Times photo shoot, but the reality is I'm normally quite messy and tomboyish, so I don't chime with the sort of nonsense they talk about on Women's Hour about sort of wombs and periods. I can't actually bear period talk, which I talk about in the piece. I've got loads of gay friends who are always teasing me that I'm like a gay man for various reasons. So I sort of talk about this in the piece, how I also resist a lot of these labels. But unlike Coleman, it's because I just don't want labels at all. I'm sort of resistant to this idea that now there seem to be, for young people, a million labels and they have to choose one. And I sort of long for a time when we could just be a bit messy and different and, as I say, have a personality.
When you say you often sort of describe yourself as a gay man, what does that mean? Because that's something that Coleman said as well.
Well, it's funny she said that. So, I do say in the piece, my gay friends say it to me as a bit of a joke. And I guess what I sort of joke back with them about is the reality is actually the sort of cliches about gay men. They all sort of want to long to be sort of married and have children and be extremely what we might call heteronormative now. So they tease me about being a gay man because they think I'm a bit of a shagger, and which is a cliche about gay men. And because I don't want those sort of heteronormative entrapments. I suppose, I'm in my 40s. I haven't wanted to be a mother or clean the house or have children, which I guess are sort of, so I've sort of resisted those pigeonholed sort of areas women fall into. And I think gay men sometimes get a lot of freedom in their lives, which I've lent into. And also I think women just have this terrible sense of sort of slut shaming about, their lives and their behaviour. And maybe because my closest friends are all gay men, I feel they give me a lot of freedom to live as I like. So they all tease me I'm the honorary gay man amongst them.
Yeah, although, some people are messaging in this morning listening to you saying, that they feel that there are stereotypes about gay men that are being sort of, I suppose, perpetuated there, which I guess is your point. You don't want anyone to have any labels, but we can't really avoid the fact that there are labels attached to certain identities.
I completely agree with that, what they're saying. So I do make it clear in the piece, it's my gay friends tease me in that way.
Yes.
So I think they've got the right to say it. But absolutely there are stereotypes. I make a sort of joke in the piece, like I said earlier, about what they talk about on Women's Hour. But, I was looking at the schedule this week. They're talking about cosmetic surgery, children, wombs, makeup. Are these not cliches about what women might be interested in? I'm quite interested in the rest of the schedule as well. So there's certainly the piece really is talking about the sort of cliches in various ways that we're forced into. And I talk about all these sort of new labels around bisexual, pansexual, omnisexual, asexual, gender non-conforming, gender fluid. What happened to the sort of freedom to just behave how you want and not have to have any label at all?
Yeah, I think a lot of people will really feel that similarly to you, Katie. Thanks very much for joining us now.
Lovely to talk to you. Bye.
That is Katie Glass there. And you can read that piece in the Times today on times.com if you want to go and have a look. It's a really interesting read.
I don't know what schedule she's talking about that Woman's Hour's on. I've never heard of that schedule. What's Woman's Hour on? Anyone? My cynical view thinks that Olivia Colman has said she's always felt sort of non-binary because she doesn't want to be criticised for having the wrong identity to be in a film about non-binary things.
I don't know, you know.
'cause the world exists
I think she's quite authentic. I don't think she would have said something like that if she didn't feel an element of that herself. But I do think there is something has shifted, which means it's easier for people to start talking in that way and to say, I don't feel like this applies to me, in a way that women maybe couldn't before.
But I think Katie's probably right. Just live your life. We wish everyone well. Live your life and stop trying to put a label on everything.
And good morning. Welcome to the programme.